I shut the fuck up. 15,000 units. You made me vouch for Chocolate Daddy 15,000 units. I got 6 fucking...
So to begin where we left off, Art, Davie, and Rorion Gracie had to pay a total of $102,500, which is $50,000 for the winner of the event, $15,000 for the runner-up, $4,000 for the 2 losing semifinalists, and $1,000 for the 4 first-round losers, plus $2,500 to be divided between 2 alternate fighters who would be available to be the backups in case of injury to the other fighters. Davie also agreed to secretly pay 2 fighters, whether they won or lost, $17,000 for one, $6,000 for the other. Davie raised the money over the summer by sending out a mass mailer to every current and former student of the Gracie Academy and offering them a chance to be investors in the World of the War promotions. SEG asked for a name change because of the copyright infringement lawsuits for the name World of the Wars Promotions, and SEG's head of marketing suggested the name Ultimate Fighting Championship. SEG only paid $4,000 to rent the McNichols Sports Arena, home of the NBA Denver Nuggets, who was playing an away game that night with the Lakers. The McNichols Sports Arena is no longer there because it was demolished in the year 2000. The fighter contracts included an acknowledgement they might be injured badly enough to die during the event. SEG's flyers promoted that there would be no rules, no judges, and no point system, just pure uncontrolled violence. There are no rules, one of the posters said. There actually were rules, a full type written page of them, but the fighters weren't given the rules until the night before the fight. The rules were that fights could only be stopped by knockout, tap out, or if their corner threw in a towel on their behalf. Fights would be 5-minute rounds with 2-minute rest periods in between, and there would be as many rounds as necessary to produce a finish. Biting, groin strikes, and eye gouges were forbidden. Fighters who chose to wear shoes wouldn't be allowed to throw kicks, but if they went barefoot, then they could throw kicks. At 6 p.m. Friday, November 12, 1993, the camera started rolling. The introduction was done by kickboxing legend Bill Superfoot Wallace, who twice misidentified the UFC event as the Ultimate Fighting Challenge. The first fight was Dutch kickboxer Gerald Gordou and a Hawaiian sumo wrestler named Tila. Gerald Gordou gave Tulia a sharp right hook to the jaw and then kicked Tulia in the face and sent Tulia's front teeth flying into the audience. While a few shards remained embedded in Gordou's foot, the fight ended with Tulia's team throwing in the towel and Gerald Gordou was declared the winner. Art Davie listened to the cheers in the crowd and knew he had created a hit. He says, and I quote, "I can smell the bloodlust of all the young guys all over the planet. This is fucking real and I fucking love it. And we still have the rest of the tournament to go. The night has just begun. God forgive me," end quote. In the second fight, the 2 kickboxers, Zane Frasier and Kevin Rosier, had a fight in which Michael Thompson says, and I quote, "the kind of brawl you might expect 2 drunken fathers to have in a parking lot after a Little League game," end quote. Frasier grabbed Rosier's hair and used it as a grip while performing uppercuts and knees, and even managed to pull some of Rosier's hair out until he tired out and lost balance and fell to the mat. Rosier grabbed the top of the cage and stepped on Frasier's head until Frasier's corner threw in the towel. The third fight was Rorion Gracie's brother, the 26-year-old, 178-pound, 6'1" Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, Royce Gracie, who was the smallest and the youngest in the tournament. His opponent, Art Jimmerson, a cruiserweight boxer who outweighed Royce by nearly 20 pounds. Jimmerson was also listed within the top 10 by the World Boxing Council and had a 15-win streak before the UFC, and his record was 33 wins and 18 losses. The match was won by Royce Gracie as Jimmerson tapped out, though there was no observable threat or damage inflicted. Jimmerson had 1 boxing glove on one hand and no glove on the other. Royce Gracie arrived in the United States at 17 years old and lived with Rorion Gracie and worked as a babysitter until his English was good enough to teach at Rorion's jiu-jitsu gym. Their older brother, Rickson Gracie, who competed in Brazil in the 1980s, opened his own gym, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Los Angeles. Royce Gracie's next fight was Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock built a career in professional wrestling and also earned the title of King of Pancrase in Japanese, mixed martial arts promotion, and was more than 40 pounds heavier than Royce Gracie. Royce Gracie won the match due to Ken Shamrock tapping out from a choke. The final match was between Royce Gracie and Dutch kickboxer Gerald Gordou, in which Royce Gracie won by Gerald tapping out from the same exact choke he had put Ken Shamrock in. First, Gerald was tapping Royce's shoulder, then the mat, and finally started to reach for the referee's shoe. Royce Gracie won the champion of the first UFC debut, which lasted 86 minutes and won a $50,000 check.